Hello students, welcome to my class. So in the previous video we had discussed about reduction reactions. So in this video we'll be talking about both reduction reaction as well as little bit about halogenation, dehalogenation and dehydrogenation. So first of all, what is halogenation reaction? As you all know, addition of halogen to any organic compound is called as a halogenation reaction. So it can be done by two different mechanisms, that is by addition reaction and substitution reaction. In addition reaction, what we are doing is we are adding halogen directly, whereas in substitution reaction, here there is a free radical formation and then that free radical gets added to the organic compound. So first of all, let's study how addition reaction takes place. So we are taking an alkene and it's getting converted into an alkane, and we are adding a halogen, that is bromine we are adding. So Br2, it splits into Br plus and Br minus, you know that, right? And each of that gets added to one each of these carbon to give a vicinal dihalide. So how is this reaction mechanism actually happening is that first the Br2 gets split into Br plus and Br minus. That is, one bromine will take up the two electrons of the bond and get a minus charge, so the other bromine will have a plus charge. So the bromine which has a plus charge will go and one of the pi bonds in this carbon will shift on to one of the carbons, giving this carbon a minus charge and this carbon a plus charge. Okay, so bromine here will get having a plus charge will come and attach onto this carbon having a minus charge. Next, since this carbon here has a plus charge on itself or it is electron deficient, what happens is that it takes up the other bromine having a minus charge and there is a formation of a vicinal dihalide. So it is simple electrophilic substitution reaction. Next is halogenation reaction by substitution. Here there is formation of a free radical. Now here you know that usually how we split in the previous one, chlorine Cl2 got split into Cl plus and Cl minus, correct? But here it splits into free radical, that is Cl dot and Cl dot, two molecules of Cl dot. Meaning to say that each of them have odd electron pair. These free radicals, they have odd electrons, correct? They have one extra electrons in them. Same way here, this Cl2 will split into Cl dot and Cl dot to give chlorine free radical. And here in the benzene ring, there is elimination of one of the hydrogens from here as H dot. So here carbon will be left with one more dot. So what will happen, one that H dot going out will combine with one of the Cl dot to get eliminated as HCl. Okay, and this chlorine Cl dot will come and form a bond with carbon which already has one odd electron with it. So that's how here the reaction takes place, substitution reaction. Same way, see the second example. The next type of halogenation reaction that we're studying is halogenation of allylic compounds. Now, student, these are very important. That is, one is halogenation of carbonyl compounds, second is for halogenation of allylic compound, and third is halogenation of benzylic compound. So, these three are very, very important under halogenation topics. So, we already completed carbonyl compound. Second is halogenation for allylic compound. So we already studied what are allylic compounds when we were studying about oxidation. So here in this particular compound, that is CH2 double bond CH3, can you tell which is a allylic carbon? Usually the carbon present neighboring to this double bond is called as a allylic carbon. Here in this case, this bond CH3, this carbon is there, no? It is called as a allylic carbon. Okay. So, and halogenation of allylic compound, it is done in the presence of a halogenating agent, that is N-bromosuccinamide. It is also written as NBS. It is a very good brominating agent. In order to add bromine, it is used. It is a very good brominating agent. So what are we doing? We are taking our allylic compound here and making it react with the brominating agent N-bromosuccinamide. What is the reaction that is happening? Bromination. That is nothing but a type of halogenation. So bromine gets added to one of the carbons here. So it gets added specifically to this particular carbon here to get our halogenated product. So how is the reaction mechanism taking? First of all, take your allylic compound, and then here in the from the allylic carbon specifically, there is a proton going off and there is heterolytic cleavage of the bond. Students, what does this half-headed fish arrow indicate you? When we write like this, what does it say? It says that we are doing homolytic cleavage of the bond, not heterolytic. So what do we get by the end of a homolytic cleavage? Whenever there is a homolytic cleavage of the bond, what type of products do we get? We usually get free radical, because these two electrons shared by this particular bond, each of these compounds, each of these atoms will get one electron each. So here hydrogen will have one odd electron as H dot, and same way here carbon also will have one dot electron as C dot. Okay. So first step is homolytic cleavage of the allylic compound, and specifically the allylic carbon here undergoes homolytic cleavage to give the products, that is H dot and CH2 double bond CH bond CH2 dot. Second step is we are taking a brominating agent, that is N-bromosuccinamide. So that compound also undergoes homolytic cleavage to give Br dot and N dot. So here this NBr, nitrogen bromine bond, undergoes homolytic cleavage to give the N dot and Br dot. In the third step, all you have to do is you have to add this free radical, that is a allylic free radical is added to the bromine free radical. So where will you add it? There is one electron here in bromine and one electron on the allylic carbon. So add this bromine over here. So you will get CH2Br, CH double bond CH2. Next, what is a byproduct you get here? You have this brominating agent with N dot and you have a H dot. So you will add your H here to get NH. Okay. So this is the halogenation reaction mechanism in case of allylic compound. Next is halogenation in case of a benzylic compound. So here we are taking a benzylic compound like benzene ring with a methyl group on it. One of the examples for benzylic compound, that is toluene. In the presence of Br2, what happens? This also goes, the reaction proceeds by free radical mechanism. One of the proton is removed and it is substituted by halogen. So we'll get a halogenated benzylic compound plus HBr. So here, since there is delocalization of electron and there is a partial double bond character here on benzene, we do not use N-bromosuccinamide because it is not possible to brominate this benzylic compound with N-bromosuccinamide. Instead of that, we can use any other brominating agent. Since in allylic compound there is no much delocalization of electron, we can use N-bromosuccinamide. But here, since there is delocalization of electron, we cannot use N-bromosuccinamide. So how is the reaction mechanism is, first of all, this CH2, once again here there is a homolytic cleavage of the bond. It splits into CH2 dot plus H dot, and bromine Br2 splits by homolytic cleavage to give Br dot and Br dot, two molecules of Br dot. So what happens? One of the Br dot comes and attaches over here to give CH2Br, and one more Br dot goes and attaches to the hydrogen to give HBr. That is brom halogenation in case of benzylic compound. Next is the dehalogenation reaction. So in halogenation reaction, what we did is we added halogen. In dehalogenation reaction, what we are doing is we are removing the halogen. So what are the reagents that we're using for dehalogenation is, one is it can be done in the presence of metal, or it can also be done in the presence of lithium aluminium hydride or Grignard reagent. So first is dehalogenation in case of metal. So we have taken a halogenated compound like vicinal dihalide, and we are taking a metal like zinc here. What happens? Zinc removes both of these bromines and gets eliminated as ZnBr2, and this bond gets shifted between both of these carbons as C double bond C. So we get a product that is alkene CH3 CH double bond CH bond CH3 plus ZnBr2. This is in case of metals. Next, if we do dehalogenation in the presence of a lithium aluminium hydride. So if we do halogenation in case of lithium aluminium hydride, what happens is that here lithium aluminium hydride splits to give Li plus and AlH4. This Li plus, it will take up the chlorine from here, that is a halogen, any halogen for that matter. Here in this case we have chlorine. Chlorine will come out as Cl minus and it will combine with Li plus to go out as LiCl. Next, what happens is that there is this carbon, since chlorine has gone out as Cl minus, this carbon will have a plus charge on itself, and AlH4 is there, out of which one of the hydrogen comes out as H minus and comes and combines with this carbon which has a plus charge to give CH3 C double bond O bond H, LiCl, and what else is left? AlH3 is left. That is dehalogenation in case of lithium aluminum hydride. And the last type of reagent that we're using for dehalogenation is Grignard reagent, that is RMGX. Here, one of the Grignard simplest Grignard reagent that we're taking is CH3MgBr, and this is a halogenated benzylic compound. So here we are supposed to remove this X, that is a halogen that is present. That X here will be removed by the Grignard reagent, and this R part will be substituted here. So that CH3 part or R you can write here, whatever R part you're taking, whatever alkyl group you're taking, that part will be substituted over here as R and the benzene ring, and this halogen that goes out will combine with this magnesium to go out as MgX2. So here if it was bromine, you can write so many examples. Here if it was bromine, then we would get MgBr2. If it was chlorine, Mg, here also you have to take CH3MgCl if it is chlorine here. So you will get MgCl2. So these are the different methods of dehalogenation. Next is dehydrogenation. What is dehydrogenation? In reduction, we studied about addition of hydrogen, but in reduction is also called as what? Hydrogenation reaction, because we are adding hydrogen there in case of reduction. So in dehydrogenation, what happens? We are removing hydrogen. So removal of hydrogen reactions involving removal of hydrogen is called as dehydrogenation reaction. So dehydrogenation can be done in the presence of two different catalysts. One is a metal catalyst, and you can also do dehydrogenation in the presence of a non-metal. So if you're doing dehydrogenation with metal, you can take nickel, platinum, palladium metals. Same way, if you're doing dehydrogenation with non-metal, you can take sulfur and selenium for doing dehydrogenation with non-metal. So how is the reaction mechanism if we're doing dehydrogenation with metals? So see here, example, we're taking cyclohexadiene. So this we have to convert the cyclohexadiene to benzene because we are removing one hydrogen from both these places. So if we remove those hydrogen, there is a double bond formation here. So if there is a double bond formation here, we'll get a benzene ring, correct? So how are we doing dehydrogenation in the presence of nickel? Here you can take nickel, platinum, palladium. So what does this metal do is that it provides a surface for the reaction to take place. So when this organic compound is heated in the presence of a metal, what happens? There is homolytic cleavage, and both of these hydrogen present, let's name the carbon number. If this is 1 2 3 4 5 6, so both the hydrogens attached to carbon number 2 and 3, here one hydrogen goes out by homolytic cleavage. Same way here also one hydrogen goes out by homolytic cleavage. So carbon number 2 and 3, both of them are free radicals. Now there is one dot here in carbon number 2 and one more dot indicating one electron present in carbon number 3. So there is a double bond formation between carbon number 2 and 3, as you can see here. And what happens to this hydrogen that goes out? It does not go out into the reaction medium. It actually is present on the metal surface like this. It forms a bond on the metal surface. And due to heating, once again, since this reaction is continued, what happens? We get the benzene ring. It comes out, detaches itself from the metal surface and comes out. Same way, these two hydrogens, they combine, these two H dots, they combine together to give H2, and by the end of the reaction you will get your metal as such. So this is a reaction mechanism in case you're doing dehydrogenation with metal. What about dehydrogenation with non-metal like sulfur or selenium? Same way the reaction will progress. Here what happens? Once again, because of the heat, there is homolytic cleavage, and the hydrogen, the two hydrogens that come out, they combine with the sulfur to give hydrogen sulfide, and you get your benzene. Same way, hydrogen selenide is got in case you're using selenium, and you will get the benzene ring. So that is a reaction mechanism for dehydrogenation reaction. So with this, we have completed this particular topic, that is halogenation and dehydrogenation. I'll end this video here. Thank you for attending my class. Take care and bye.